Hey, how you doing? My name's Daniel. This is the Real Infidel channel. Today we're going to go over rifles and assault rifles, battle rifles, whatever you want to call it. Rifles that you can obtain fairly cheaply and practice and train yourself to be proficient in using assault rifles. I will preface this by saying I like AR-15s. I'm not saying anything bad about AK-47s or other heavy battle rifles like a SCAR. I think the SCAR is a wonderful weapon. It's a little heavy for my taste, and it's not as, some people are going to argue about this, but it's not as easily modified as an AR-15. The AR-15 is a platform that the military has been using for decades, and it is a proven combat rifle. So today I'm going to go over a couple different configurations I have. These are weapons that I train on. These are weapons that I like. So I'm not saying that you have to get what I get. Just whatever you get, make sure you get proper training. $700-800 on a rifle and a couple $1,000s in training is better than spending $4,000 for a Gucci'd out rifle. When on an AR platform, you can upgrade things as you want to. As you get the money, you can upgrade. You can do whatever you want with it. I like. I'm going to say that I like. You're going to see. You're going to think I'm contradicting myself, but I prefer factory weapons. I did in my last video. I talked about. I have built a custom lower, and it's wonderful. It's a CMT milled lower. I'm not sponsored by anybody, but it's a CMT milled lower. And I like it, but it's not as easy to find parts for as it's like standard Colt Bushmaster. It's or your standard Colt M4. It's a military weapon, so the parts are going to be way more accessible than a custom build. Okay, so that being said, these weapons are cleared. I will make sure and show you that they're cleared. I'm home alone, so there might be a magazine in it, but I will remove the magazine and pull the bolt back and show you that the weapon is clear. This is important when handling weapon. Firearm safety is a must. So just know that I am what I consider a trained professional, and I know how to clear weapons. So the first weapon I'm going to show you is a standard Colt M4. With a 14-inch barrel. It is, in my opinion, the better of my rifles that I have, even though it's not Gucci'd out. It's just a standard M4 with mag pull style, flip up rear sight, and a fixed sight on the front. So I'm going to go into that one here. You can see that it is open. There's nothing in the chamber. Okay, the rubber bands are something I put on here. I needed a place to put it when I had it in my hand. But this is my weapon that I would prefer to carry this in any situation. It doesn't have an optic on it. I do have a Vortex low power variable optic that's coming in the mail for this. I had a Trigicon ACOG on this, but I took it off and put it on my 300 blackout. All right, so this gun has just a couple modifications to it. It has ambidextrous sling mounts for a single point sling, and it has flip up rear sight. That is, and I have a vertical grip attached to it, although I tend not to use it. If I do, I loop my finger in it because I like to shoot with my arm extended out on the weapon. So this is how I like to shoot. It's easier to transition to shoot at a target that might present itself at an odd angle. So I tend to get out on the weapon and hold it. Okay. So on this sight, it has a small peep sight in the back, or you can flip this down, and it gives you a larger peep sight. When I am shooting, when I have the gun and I'm clearing or I'm engaged in a threat, I like to keep the small peep sight on, because I'm only going to go on that sight post long enough to engage the threat, then I'm going to come back up and scan, right? So you can see a lot less here than you can here, right? And it just takes a simple second. Plus, in close quarters combat, you should train to shoot off your front sight post and not have to line up sights. This gun is easily a 500 meter gun. I've shot at 500 meters with iron sights. The Marines in basic training train on either a M4A2 or a M16A4. All right, so they might have M4s now. 20 years ago when I was in, they had M16A4s, which is just a slightly longer version of this gun with a fixed stock where you can't adjust it. And they train in basic training with new cadets, Marine cadets or recruits or whatever you call them, to shoot 500 yards. So this is a very capable platform, very flat shooting, very, very, very tried and true weapon. This is my go-to. I do like different configurations. I tend to keep, in travel, I keep the buttstock in, and when I'm shooting, I keep the buttstock out, and that's to give you a longer platform to absorb more recoil. And with absorbing more recoil means your front sight's going to stay on target a lot longer, so you can shoot it faster with proper training. So yeah, this is my standard M4, and I absolutely love it. I tend to stick with vertical grips just because I have training with them, and that's what I like. I have shot thumb grips and angle grips, but I tend to stick with vertical grips when I have one on my weapon system. The next one I'm going to show you is my blackout. I've done some modifications since. Oh, carry grip. I've done some modifications since the last time I showed it, but you can see in this bag, the weapon is secured, and there's 2 magazines in each compartment for an AR. Okay, so this is more of a range bag than something you're gonna carry around the mall. If you have an SBR or a AR pistol or sub AR, that's something that you might want to look into. All right. So as I was saying, this is not an AR. It's an AR pistol. And I know people are going to give me stuff about this is illegal to have on here. It's not for me. It might be for you, but it is not for me. I am looking at getting a smaller buffer tube for this, and a more minimalist stock that goes on it. I'm sorry, arm brace, not a stock. So this is my blackout. So last time you saw it, I just had the ACOG on it. I got my RMR back. This is a backup sight or a close quarter sight for me. In close quarters, I tend not to use sights. I will shoot off the top of the ACOG if needs be, or I can shoot off my reflex here. It is a Bushnell. I'm not sponsored by Bushnell or anything. However, I had to mount it on the forward part of the upper receiver due to the fact that it will cause, and let me show you that it's clear. There are bullets in that mag, but there's not a bullet in the gun. You can see the breech. It's clear. So as I was saying, I had to mount this up here because if you mount it back here, it will affect rounds coming out of your ejection port. So I do shoot with an ACOG on it. I was going to take the ACOG back off and put it back on my longer M4. However, I do like the way it shoots with ACOG on it. So and I like to be able to get up close if I need to. So same principle with this gun. I shoot with my arm forward. The ACOG gives me a higher point of view. So the eye relief on it's perfect for me. When I hunch in, I can shoot up, or I can come up over the sights and scan. This is my custom built lower. I have oversized pins to make sure everything holds tight. It's a nice lower. It's got a really light trigger on it. I'll show you the trigger. It's empty. There's maybe a millimeter of play, and then it's very light, maybe 2 pounds. So the Bushnell has like 1,000 hours of battery life on the highest setting. It's a red dot sight, reflex sight. So if I am engaging and there's a closer up threat, I can just camp my gun and engage. Okay, even when I hold my fingers over it like this, it does not affect the RMR. So just an idea. It is zeroed out to 100. Anything past 100, I'm going to probably be engaging with my my ACOG. Yeah, this is a nice piece of machinery. I like 5.56 guns more than 300 blackout. I'm able to reach out farther, and you're going to find 5.56 or 223 ammo a lot better, a lot easier than you're going to find 300 blackout ammo. So this is my blackout configuration. Now I'm in the process of making a lower for my other configuration. However, you pop 2 bolts and you have a lower receiver, and you can take this and stick it back in your range bag and come and get your 5.56 upper. If that's what you choose, you can get your 5.56 upper, and with almost zero effort, put it in. Drop my charging handle. This upper does have a full auto bolt carrier assembly. So when I finish my bolt carrier or my lower upper, I will incorporate that as fully automatic if I choose. I'm not a huge fan of fully auto, but I like to have the option if needs be. This is a Knight's Armament monolithic upper. Monolithic means the upper is one piece for the top guard handrail system, and then these 3 guards can be taken off or adjusted. However, it's got a 10 1/4 inch or 10.3 inch barrel. It doesn't have the max performance for a 5.56 with that. However, it still reaches out and touches them when I need to. I have not mounted on it at this time. I have a Harris bipod I can put on this if needs be, or I can put it on my other one. I have Daniel Defense flip up sights. These are budget sights. I ordered them because they were solid metal and I thought they would be really nice. They're all right. I'm not gonna knock them for the price that I paid for them. They lock down. They have a I don't know if we can really see it, but on the rear sight post they have fiber optics, and on the front sight post there's a fiber optic to absorb light, ambient light, sunlight, whatever it needs to be. So with this gun, I can engage, or I can go close quarters, or if my optic, for some reason my optic goes down, I highly doubt that it will ever go down as a Trigicon ACOG. The reticle is powered by tritium, which is radioactive material. It also has this long fiber optic fiber optic cable on the top that feeds light into the reticle, so you can have a bright light during the day and not so bright at night. These are a little older. They're the tritium in them starting to wear out, and they don't illuminate as well at night. However, they do still function at night, and with the that's why I don't have this fiber optic taped. Is during the day, it's you need to have a really bright reticle. I don't live in a sun-ridden arid wasteland. I live in Virginia, so I have the option to have a highly illuminated optic if needs be. So if you're looking at these, will get upgraded because I'm not a huge fan. So I do like them. There's some play in them, and I don't know how this is going to hold up going in and out of a car or whatever. I don't know if this is going to break or not, but it's not a bad budget item. It is not I would not take this in combat. If any military people are watching this, trying to figure out what they're going to how they're going to trick out their assault rifle, I would not take these. I would get Magpul or PMag flip up sights like I have on my own. But this is effective for what I need it for. Like I said, I highly doubt that this ACOG will ever break or not be zeroed properly. So these are just some things I carry. Knight's monolithic upper with CMT milled lower, custom made lower, and my 300 blackout. This is a cheap build, so I will upgrade it as I decide. This PSA Palmetto State Armory. This is I know some people don't like it, but it's cheap and it's a functioning upper for an assault rifle. Now I can upgrade this however I choose to later on. I will be replacing the handguards and the compensator because I will need to be able to mount my suppressor properly in the near future. So I don't have that problem right now because I shoot a 30 cal suppressor, and I'll put it on an AR15 with 5.56 if needs be. You're not going to get suppressed ammo. It's not going to be. It's still going to. You're still going to have quite a loud pop. You probably still have to wear ear pro because subsonic 5.56. I do know people that try to make it. It's not really subsonic because the caliber, the grain of the ammo and the size of the projectile is just it moves too fast. So these are a couple options that you could look into. This upper without any attachments on it ran me $300 with a bolt carrier group and a charging handle. So $300 for this. This lower is about $1,000, but you can get a lower for less than that. You can get a blank lower and put whatever trigger assembly you want in it, and put whatever attachments, however you want to build it, you can, or you can buy one. I think PSA has some. Check them out; they have some fairly cheap lowers, and like I said, you can upgrade everything you want later on. So it's worth looking into. Now, I shoot primarily PMags. These are wonderful magazines. They're a lot better than the 10 mags that you can get for AR. They don't misfeed as much, and they're more sturdy. So I would invest in at least several good mags. You don't have to do it all in one paycheck. You can do it as you get the money. But a basic combat load for the Army is 210 rounds, which is seven magazines topped off. 6 on your plate, 6 on in your gear, LBV or whatever system you have, and 1 in your magazine mo. So yeah, this is what I got. I'm tinkering around with some attachments. My PEC 2 is not on it right now. My PEC 4 goes on my long gun because that's a gun I'll shoot with optics, or I'll shoot it under night vision, which I'll show you my night vision here in a little bit. But it's a PDS 14 mono night vision receptacle. So check into it. If you are gonna, like I said, if you are gonna get an assault rifle, if you're new to assault rifles, I would highly suggest you get some training. If you have a lot of assault rifles, but it's been a long time since you've had good training, I would suggest you invest a little bit of money and go to a formal training session with it, just to refresh your skills. I go to a formal training session at least once, maybe twice a year. It's like I said, I'm a police officer, so it's normally something that we host at our range, where I have the range master and firearms instructors that are either SWAT operators or former military that train us. So I am a firearms instructor as well, but sometimes you need to sit back and let another firearms instructor critique you to make sure that you're getting the best out of your the best training you can for your skills. So that being said, peace out, and always remember, kick sand in the face.